How to score 100 out of 100 in regulations. Hi, this is Dr. Vamshi from Doc.Pilot10 Aviation Academy, the only school in India which cares about the quality of training. I prepare my students from day one, as if they are going to prepare for an airline, as if their life is dependent on it. Correct. Every concept to be understood and memorized in the easiest possible way. I mean, when my students go out, what I feel is they have to be ready. Correct. They have to be ready for airlines. They have to have all the knowledge to be able to get into airlines, not just having a license. It doesn't give you a job. Correct. For example, there are 100 vacancies coming out and 3000 people competing. If you cannot be in the top 100 in the airline exam, of course you are out of competition. Wait for one more year, another 100 vacancies come up, again prepare and again give a shot. No, if you are not prepared yet, so you are out of competition again. Like I have seen a lot of like pilots with license ending up just with the license. Correct. So anyways, coming to this topic, I had a request from many students to do this video about how to score good marks in regulations. I mean, I have seen personally students who have failed 4 to 5 times in regulations. Here, why is this? What is the reason for the students to fail in regulations in spite of working hard? In spite of working hard, regulations is all about you memorizing the rules and regulations that has to be followed. Correct. That means this subject is a pure memory thing. There is nothing to understand. If there is a procedure laid down, you have to understand. You have to memorize this. Nothing more, nothing less. So there are not lot of concepts in it, but there is a lot of stuff to be memorized in your brain. Now, like if this is regulations book by R.K. Bali, I have memorized from cover to cover before going to my exam. When I gave my exam, I have memorized the entire book. My score in regulations is only 90. Yeah. In exam, I felt yeah, there are a lot of questions which did not come from the book. I mean, I was in a situation here, this question, though I have never seen it. Right? And then after exam, I came back and did a research. Correct. Now I come to a conclusion that here RK Bali is only 80 to 90% of the entire rules and regulations. If you want to find out the entire rules and regulations, you have to go to Airport Authority of India website or DGCA website. Correct. You can go download the entire syllabus from there in the form of PDF. This is one big problem. The thing is, like, you're not reading the entire syllabus before going to exam, so there it is most likely that you will find questions which you have never seen. Second thing, the book RK Bali is a cut and paste from the annexures, and some questions are there to practice. Now this book is a cut and paste from annexures and these websites. I mean, the actual DGCA and Airport Authority of India. There, the problem is all this language is a legal language. It was written by some American for ICAO. I don't know American or someone, but it was written by someone like long back. Correct. Now, this being the legal language, it is not very easy to read. So what students does, students skips the theory part and think that if they do the questions from the chapters, they will pass. Correct. So you are not reading the book completely. It is not readable. Like I have taken a long time to read this book. Correct. And it was very not very comfortable. So these are the two main problems. Now, what can we do about it? Or moreover, what do I do so that my student one day will go and score 100 in regulations? You would have seen, like I have not seen No, but no one scored 100 till now in regulations. I have not seen. In meteorology, yes. Even I scored 98. Very easy. Navigation, yes. My last attempt was more than 90. Correct. Not my attempt, my students' attempts. Like almost always, like the topper comes from the academy. Now we have two problems. One is the language itself, and the second is the entire syllabus not being covered. So, what did I do so that one day my student will go and score 100 in regulations? Here, what I did is I took the book and I typed it out again. I rewritten it in the easiest possible language, in a language where you can understand. Not only that, for example, if you take this is chapter one. Now, if you read this, there is a story. So, like in some other font, the story is there behind every line. The thing is, once you read this, there is nothing to be memorized. All the memory points will be covered in the story which I have written for each chapter. So I make it very easy to understand and memorize the entire syllabus. Now, the thing is, for example, see, I have a story in the first chapter which ends with here. See, the last line would be this is COVID 19 times. So you have to be very careful. You have to stay safe. Correct. Now, at that point, I'll be teaching Annex 19. What is Annex 19? See, annexes are like Annex 1, 2, 3, so on, for till 19. They will ask in exam year Annex 19 is what, Annex 2 is what, Annex 5 is what, Annex 10 is what. Correct. In that story, the last line would be COVID 19. So you have to take care of you. You have to be safe. Correct. Annex 19 is all about safety management. So, I mean, in this kind of way it makes very easy. I definitely believe that a student should not struggle hard to memorize a thing. He may struggle hard to understand a concept, that is okay, but to memorize a thing, the teacher has to put it in a easy way. He has to make the syllabus into a banana, and the student should be able to swallow it even if he doesn't have a teeth. Correct. So this is how I do. So the first problem, the language and the ease of memorizing things, is taken care of. Second point is, if I have to ask you, like, here you have to read the entire syllabus from all the annexes. First of all, see, it is not possible. Memory, I believe, like everyone's is limited. Okay? Even my memory is very much limited. So now I did not increase the book volume or I did not decrease the book volume. So what I did is, generally what I do is, I if my student goes for the exam, okay, so I'll ask the student here, which, whenever you see a question in the exam which you have not heard or which have not been taught in class. For example, last attempt a student came with the, so this question has been asked, that who is the ultimate responsibility, like who is ultimately responsible for carrying food and water in the cabin for passengers? Is it the head of the cabin crew or is it the captain of the aircraft? Correct. So these kind of questions, what I do, I go back to the annexures from the Dgca website, Airport Authority of India websites, and then I find that, I find the answer to that question, but I copy a chunk of it nearby. Correct. So I copy all the rules and regulations regarding that chapter. Correct. So now that syllabus is slowly increasing, but not to an extent that student will be overburdened. Correct. Now, one by one, every time the syllabus increases, it will not go too much, but maybe in next 1 year, I might increase the syllabus by 10 pages in my book. Correct. If you see, this part is the ones which I have typed out. Yeah, so I believe that one day my student goes to the exam, he will score 100 in regulations and come back. I hope so. One day it should happen. Na? See, I'm working so hard to do all this stuff. I really want my student. That day I'll make a video on it. Like, the experience of the student, correct? Please check out the experience of other students at the academies. Please check out how they score more than 90 marks in navigation, how every time we prove to be the best, correct? So have a good day.